This is not just another video. This is a revelation, and it's about you, chosen one. Yes, you who's watching this right now. Not by accident, not by mistake. This message has found you because heaven scheduled it. And hear me when I say this. A devil has fallen in love with you. Yes, it sounds strange, but it's because you're different. You didn't break when you were supposed to. You didn't bow when others begged for mercy. You didn't sell your soul, because it was never for sale. You're the one who made the enemy confused, the one who exposed the illusion, the one who stood where giants fell. Dove, comment 77 below to declare your divine discernment. Wrapped gift shout out to the divine donors. You're sowing into spiritual elevation. Now let's go deeper. There comes a time in every soul's journey when the weight of the world tries to crush the light within. And in those moments, most people collapse under pressure. They bend to temptation, surrender to fear, or sell their truth for acceptance and applause. This has been the pattern throughout history. Great names, great talents, great gifts, swept away by the influence of darkness disguised as opportunity. You have seen it yourself. Celebrities and public figures who rose like stars, yet fell like stones. People who were admired by millions, yet struggled privately with spiritual storms. Icons like Marilyn Monroe, who embodied beauty and charisma, but inside, wrestled with a silence no one could understand. Michael Jackson, who moved nations with music, yet lived with shadows trailing his every step. Even someone as impactful as Nelson Mandela faced deep valleys in his life, moments where many would have surrendered. But let us not dwell on their falls. Instead, let us reflect on the contrast. Let us reflect on you. Because while the world was busy clapping for those who shined temporarily, you were quietly being forged in fire. While others were distracted by the stage, you were preparing in the shadows. You were not chasing applause. You were seeking alignment. And that makes you radically different. Chosen one, you were not created to follow the crowd. You were created to carry a crown of purpose. And that crown does not come easy. It is not given to those who quit at the first sign of discomfort. It is given to those who rise again and again, even when their knees tremble, even when their voice shakes. The reason your story stands out is because you did not fall for the illusions. You saw past the glitter. You sensed something deeper. And when darkness tried to lure you, you stood tall. Not because you were never afraid, but because you knew who was with you. This is what makes you powerful. The devil has always been looking for souls it can influence, people it can use. And many said yes, not out of evil, but because they were vulnerable, tired, or simply unaware. But not you. You saw the trap and you chose a different road. That road was not easy. It was narrow, lonely, misunderstood. You were called names. You were left out. Some thought you were arrogant. Others believed you were weak. But you were simply choosing to remain aligned with your spirit. Let me remind you of something powerful. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54 verse 17. This means that while weapons may be formed, they will not succeed. You may feel pressure, but you will not be crushed. You may be tested, but you will not be broken. Another scripture says, "Put on the whole armor of God, so that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the enemy." Ephesians 6 verse 11. Chosen one, that is exactly what you have done. Whether knowingly or instinctively, you have worn spiritual armor. You have covered your mind with truth. You have guarded your heart with peace. And even when everything inside you said, "Give up," something deeper said, "Hold on." Let us take a moment to recognize how rare that is. In a world where comfort is worshipped and truth is edited to fit convenience, you have chosen the path of integrity. You have chosen to stay rooted in what is eternal, not what is trending. That is why you stand out. That is why certain people cannot understand you. That is why even the devil himself takes notice. Because you are not playing by the rules of this world. You are tuned into a higher frequency. And that frequency confuses the enemy. When others fell to the glitter of fame, you remained grounded. When others lost themselves in the noise, you found yourself in stillness. When others gave their energy away for validation, you learned how to fill yourself with divine peace. And because of that, you shine. Not with a borrowed light, but with your own. You have walked through pain and refused to become bitter. You have faced disappointment and still chose to love. You have seen darkness, and yet you never stopped believing in light. That is rare. That is sacred. That is divine. You may not have a spotlight. You may not have 1,000,000 followers. But in the spirit realm, your name is known. Your actions echo. Your choices shift atmospheres. And that is more powerful than any applause. So yes, many have fallen. But you stand. And not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally. You stand for something greater. You stand because you know your life carries purpose. You stand because there are people assigned to your voice, your vision, your vibration. Even if the world does not understand you, heaven does. You are a living testimony that staying true to your spirit is still possible. That not everyone bows to darkness. That some souls still belong fully to the light. Chosen one, this is your reminder. You did not come here to be like everyone else. You came here to awaken something within them. And whether they love you, misunderstand you, or fear you, you must continue to stand. Because your presence is a problem for darkness. And your endurance is a sign that light always wins. There is a question many chosen ones ask themselves quietly, especially in moments of reflection. Why do I attract so much spiritual attention? Why does it feel like darkness keeps watching me? The answer is both simple and profound. You carry something that darkness cannot ignore. You carry a light that was given to you before you were even born. And no matter where you go, what you do, or how much you try to stay hidden, that light continues to shine. It shines in your words. It shines in your silence. It shines in how you forgive when others would hate. It shines in how you stand when others would fall. This light is not loud. It is not prideful. It is not about being better than others. It is about carrying truth in a world filled with confusion. It is about being consistent in a world that constantly shifts. You are a reflection of what is eternal, and that is why the enemy pays attention. You might wonder why the darkness would care so much about one person. But this is not about the size of your platform. It is about the depth of your soul. The deeper you go within yourself, the more aware you become of your purpose, the more your energy begins to expose what is false around you. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts. Not because of what you say, but because of what you carry. There is a spiritual pressure that your presence brings, and that pressure confronts hidden motives, silent pain, and disguised deception. You have something the enemy fears: clarity. You see through things. You feel what is not spoken. You understand what others miss. And this ability does not make you strange, it makes you essential. In the book of John, chapter 1, verse 5, it says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." This verse is not just poetry. It is your life. You are proof that light cannot be silenced. Even when challenges came, even when your heart was heavy, you never fully gave in. That light kept burning. Even when others questioned your strength, that quiet fire in your spirit never stopped glowing. Now here is something deeper to consider. The enemy is not just trying to destroy you. In many ways, the enemy is fascinated by you. There is a kind of spiritual curiosity, almost an obsession, with understanding how someone like you can keep shining after everything you have faced. Think about it. How many times have you walked away from people, places, or habits that once had power over you? How many times have you said no to things that others could not resist? That is strength. That is purity. That is alignment. And that is rare. The enemy is not used to resistance. Many souls surrender early. They seek comfort over calling. But you are different. You were not built to blend in. You were built to break chains. Your choices have spiritual consequences, and your silence speaks louder than noise. There is a psychological truth here as well. When something cannot be controlled, it becomes a mystery. And when something becomes a mystery, it becomes a magnet. The enemy is drawn to what it cannot dominate. Your light confuses it. Your peace frustrates it. Your self-awareness shuts down every lie. This is why you may feel like you are always being tested. It is not because you are weak. It is because you are a mirror. And every time the enemy looks at you, it sees what it could never become. It sees truth. It sees freedom. It sees divine authority. You have also become a reminder that power does not always come from noise, that victory does not always come from winning in the eyes of the world. Sometimes true power is how you carry yourself when no one is clapping. Sometimes victory is found in the quiet decision to keep going. The enemy is aware that if you fully step into your identity, the ripple effect will be unstoppable. You will awaken others. You will heal generations. You will break cycles. And so, the goal becomes distraction, confusion, or delay. But here is the beauty in all of this. Your light is not going anywhere. It was given to you by God. It is not for sale, cannot be duplicated, cannot be dimmed by external circumstances. Jesus himself was tempted in the wilderness, not because he was weak, but because he was powerful. The enemy only tempts what threatens its plans. The same applies to you. You are not being targeted because you are broken. You are being observed because you are whole. You are being studied because you are rare. You are being watched because you are walking proof that darkness does not win. Every experience you have had, every tear, every challenge, every spiritual battle has made your light stronger, not weaker. And now the enemy is not just trying to fight you. It is trying to understand you. That is why you feel a constant pull between peace and pressure. That is why some people are drawn to you while others are uncomfortable around you. It is because your energy is sacred. It is not for everyone, but it will reach the right ones. Remember this, chosen one. You are not alone in this. The divine has already equipped you with everything you need to walk in strength. The more you step into your light, the more freedom you release, not only for yourself but for everyone connected to your journey. So the next time you feel like the weight is heavy, remind yourself, the reason is because you are carrying something eternal. You are light. You are truth. You are chosen. And nothing, not even darkness, can take that away. There is a sacred moment in the life of every chosen one when something shifts. It does not always happen with a loud announcement or dramatic event. Sometimes it is silent, like the sunrise after a long night. Other times it is subtle, like a small voice whispering, "You are not the same person anymore." This moment is called transformation. It begins when you realize that you are no longer reacting to the same things the way you used to. You are no longer available for spiritual attacks that once had access to your emotions. You start noticing that the people, places, and energies that used to pull you down no longer have the same power over you. It is not that the darkness has disappeared. It is that you have outgrown its grip. And this is what many do not understand. The battle you went through was never meant to destroy you. It was designed to awaken you. It was meant to reveal your strength, your depth, your calling. Because something beautiful happens when a chosen one refuses to become bitter. They become a vessel for divine transformation. At first, the devil may have tried to tempt you, distract you, or even drain you. But when it failed, something unexpected happened. Your light began to reverse the influence. What once tried to overpower you became fascinated by you. The enemy that tried to break you found itself disarmed by your refusal to hate, to fight in the flesh, or to fall into pride. This is where the power shift begins. Suddenly, the devil is no longer in control of the conversation. Your presence begins to speak louder than any attack. Your calmness begins to silence chaos. Your healing energy begins to expose broken systems. You become a mirror, and everything false begins to shatter in your reflection. It is like spiritual alchemy. You are not fighting fire with fire. You are turning fire into light. You are turning pain into purpose. You are turning trials into wisdom. Imagine this. Someone spent their whole life trying to manipulate others. They controlled, deceived, and dominated every environment they stepped into. But when they encounter you, something changes. You do not fight them. You do not play their game. Instead, you remain rooted in love, truth, and clarity. That confuses them, that confronts them, that transforms them. You are not matching their energy, you are raising the frequency. This is why your transformation is not just personal, it is spiritual leadership. It is not about having followers. It is about being a silent force that inspires others to question everything false in their lives. Your healing invites others to heal. Your discipline calls others to wake up. Your peace makes others restless until they find their own. In this stage, you begin to realize that the devil never truly had power. What it had was influence. But once you saw through the illusion, you broke the cycle. And once you broke the cycle, you became untouchable. There is a story of Howard Hughes, a man who once had wealth, fame, and power. Yet, near the end of his life, he became a prisoner of his own mind. Despite all he owned, he was empty. The world thought he had it all, but spiritually, he was lost. This is the reality of many who chase control without inner peace. Now imagine someone like you, a person who may not have worldly power, but walks in divine peace. That contrast is everything. It is why the enemy becomes vulnerable in your presence. You expose the lie that power equals peace. You prove that truth is the greatest authority of all. Your transformation arc is not about becoming someone else. It is about returning to who you really are, the version of you that existed before fear, trauma, or shame tried to rewrite your story. The version of you that remembers your connection to God, your divine purpose, and your inner wholeness. And in this stage, you begin to notice something sacred. The enemy loses interest in you, not because you are weak, but because you are too strong to feed. Your energy is no longer a source of reaction. You are not giving it anything to feed on. You are not chasing revenge. You are not clinging to pain. You are moving with wisdom. The enemy may still watch you, but it cannot touch you, because now your boundaries are divine. Your discernment is sharp. Your walk is holy. And most importantly, your energy is protected by truth. This is why you must not underestimate what you have become. You are not just a survivor. You are a transformer. You do not just walk away from battles, you elevate beyond them. You do not just end cycles, you rewrite legacies. There is a ripple effect to your healing. What you overcame will set others free. The silence you kept in moments of misunderstanding has built spiritual authority. The way you carried yourself through pain has become your sword. And now you do not need to prove anything. You just need to continue being who you are becoming. Because every time you choose grace over anger, every time you choose growth over reaction, every time you choose purpose over performance, you are shifting something eternal. You are the proof that light does not just survive darkness, light transforms it. So walk boldly in your new identity. Speak with confidence. Move with peace. Let your life continue to reflect what healing looks like. Let your energy remind others that real power does not need control. It only needs presence. This is your transformation. This is your rise. This is your calling. And the world, both seen and unseen, is watching in awe. There is something very special about the journey of a chosen one. You are not simply living for yourself. You are not just passing through life, chasing comfort or chasing success. You are part of something greater, something that reaches far beyond your personal story. You were sent here for a cosmic purpose. From the moment you took your first breath, there was a divine mission placed inside your soul. This mission may not have been fully clear at the beginning, but life has been unfolding it piece by piece. Every challenge, every test, every moment of silence, and every victory has been preparing you for that higher role. This is not just about healing yourself. It is about healing the world through yourself. Many people walk the earth unaware of their influence, but you, chosen one, are different. You carry a frequency that changes atmospheres. When you speak, people feel it. When you pray, shifts begin to happen. When you walk in alignment, the universe itself begins to respond. You are not only part of the story, you are the activation point for others. You are a living bridge between realms, between the visible and the invisible. Your presence awakens others to what is real. Even when you are silent, people feel the weight of your energy. They feel safer, more aware, and more open. You are the mirror that reminds others who they truly are. And this is not always easy. The responsibility can feel heavy at times. But the truth is, you were built for this. Your soul was designed to carry truth, to stand for love, and to reflect the divine even in the darkest places. Your suffering was not without meaning. Carved depth in your spirit. It taught you how to be gentle with the broken, how to see beyond appearances, and how to love with wisdom. Every pain you faced made you more useful in the mission ahead. You are not fragile. You are finely tuned. There have always been people throughout history who carried this kind of assignment. Joan of Arc was not just a warrior, she was a spiritual revolutionary. Martin Luther King Jr. was not just a speaker, he was a vessel of divine justice. Frida Kahlo was not just an artist. She turned pain into purpose, and her life became her canvas. These were people whose light came with weight, and yet they did not run from it. They embraced it. They allowed themselves to become part of the transformation the world needed. And now, so do you. You were not chosen to suffer. You were chosen to shift the course of reality. Your alignment with truth is part of a larger movement. Every time you choose faith over fear, presence over distraction, forgiveness over resentment, you are creating spiritual ripples that go far beyond what the eye can see. This is what makes your role cosmic. You are not simply reacting to life, you are co-creating with the divine. Your words, your energy, your actions, they all plant seeds in the unseen realm. What you do today can uplift someone across the world tomorrow. What you release in silence can liberate generations that come after you. This is the scale at which you are now operating. But even in all of this, you are not meant to be drained. You must understand this. Your light is for shining, not for burning out. Your energy is for building, not for breaking. You are here to give, but not to be consumed. The world needs your light, yes, but it does not need your exhaustion. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to refill. You are allowed to say no. Being chosen is not about being used up. It is about living in alignment with your higher assignment. Let your heart be open but protected. Let your love be strong but guided. Let your mission be clear but never rushed. Because you are not alone in this. The universe supports you. Heaven surrounds you. Every step you take in truth is matched by divine assistance. Every door you open in love is blessed with sacred timing. This is your cosmic role. You are the one who walks with purpose. You are the one who changes frequencies. You are the one who carries light into places that forgot what light looks like. So walk boldly, chosen one. And know this, you were never just a person. You were a movement in motion, a ripple of God's will, a living reminder that healing is possible. And your presence is exactly what this world was waiting for. This was never just about fighting demons. This is about integration, knowing your light, and understanding your power. The devil fell in love with you not because of you, but because of what you carry. You carry the truth they can't deny. You carry a vibration that shakes kingdoms. So now own it. Speech balloon comment 77. If this message unlocked something in your soul. Dove, donate via super thanks to sow into your own spiritual rise. Brain, remember this. You are not crazy. You are not too much. You are not alone. You are seen, loved, and chosen. Go forward, flame bearer. Hell has tried everything. But you handled it like no one else ever could. And that's why even the devil can't forget you.